Davis is a citizen of Evansville. He lives in the city limits. He is also our county treasurer, and he's going to go over from a city point of view why it's bad for us.
Thank you guys for coming here, first of all. I know it's very busy, but you took time out of your day to come here, and I really appreciate it. I got involved in this movement because I'm all about fairness and equality. And I do not feel that the current plan is fair or equal to people who live in the city and the county. And I also feel that the people who are leading this charge are misinforming people. And every time we do one of these town halls from now on, I'm going to go over a bunch of blatant errors or lies that they are pushing to warp your mind into voting yes. And the first one is very easy. If you look at their website, and this is pulled off of their website, under history, how benign can history be? You know, we went over history. This is how we got started. This is how we ended up to where we are today. Toward the end of 2009, the League of Women Voters of Southwest Indiana initiated the reorganization process by collecting a petition with at least 10% of the registered voters. Pretty innocuous, pretty benign, right? Well, in 2010, there were 136,000 voters registered in Vanderbilt County. So a little quick math tells you, these people went out and got 13,500 registered voters to sign a petition. That means it's a pretty popular thing, doesn't it? I mean, doesn't that kind of lead you to believe that 1 out of 10 people must really want this or they wouldn't have signed the petition? It's a lie. It's not even, it is 418% an exaggeration, to be exact. Because the law says it has to be 5% of the voters who voted for Secretary of State. That total meant they only had to get 2,632 signatures, not 13,658. So that should be a red flag that what they are telling you, all the benefits, may be an exaggeration or just a flat-out lie. Secondly, they state under the plan, and this is directly from their website, we would have one government unit with one executive and one legislative fiscal body. That's false. We're going to have two. We're going to have the town of Darmstadt. They're not involved in this at all. We automatically have taken Darmstadt out of the picture. Not to mention, we're still going to have township government, and obviously we're going to have state and federal government as well. So when they say smaller government, they're exaggerating that as well. I also am opposed to this because there's a lot of fill-in-the-blanks government that awaits us if this plan passes. We all were taught the preamble of the Constitution when we were young. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, and create, you know the law. How would you feel if after you voted, a special group of people decided we the blank in order to create a more perfect blank, promote blank, etc.? That's what this plan does. I want to know what we're voting on before I vote, not after. And there have been some very unpopular things happen in the city in the past 90 days. These same people are going to be the ones who decide how our government, the concrete facts, how our government is going to be structured. These same people we're upset with are going to be the ones filling in the blanks after we vote. That is dangerous. Another thing I'm staunchly against, I always love to say, in America we have a very healthy two-party system. That's one more than China. If this goes through, we will have one-party rule in Vanderbilt County. The mayor and the common council will both be elected at the identical same time. So what would have happened in 2008 when Barack Obama was on the ballot? All Democrats got put in. What happened in 2010 on the ballot? All Republicans get put in. The same thing is going to happen with this plan. Wherever the wind is blowing politically, we're going to have an entire group of people from that same party get into office. Where currently, we have 3 local elections. And that way, when the wind blows this way and that way, we kind of get a center of gravity. And that will not happen with this plan. We will have one-party rule. For those of you who don't know, I ran for mayor last year. And when I would go to neighborhood associations in the city limits, they would ask me, Rick, why aren't you for this reorganization? It looks like it's really slanted toward the city folks. And I would say, because I'm for fairness and equality. And I feel that the people who live in the county will be paying for services they do not receive. And they asked me, what do you mean by this? Every neighborhood association I went to, every school I went to, I gave the same example of how this type of government is going to be. Take 10 people. Sir, have you ever been to any of these meetings? No? What's your name?
Jerry.
Jerry Rick Davis. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. You're the mayor. Congratulations. You just got elected by all the people in this room. You're going to make $125,000 or more. And in order to get reelected, what do you got to do? Simply.
Appoint more.
What do you have to do for these people? Do you have to do a good job or a bad job? Keep them happy?
Give them a raise.
Give them a raise. You can't do that as mayor. But you give them services. Hopefully you give them value for their taxpayer dollar. Okay? Let's just say there are 10 people right here. Do you know that 7 out of 10 people live in the city limits in Vanderbilt County? It's true. 3 of them live in the county. Okay? So let's just say these are 10 people right here, and let's say those 3 over there represent the 7 and these 2 here represent the 3. Okay? In order to get reelected, mathematically, how many of those folks there do you need to keep happy? Just a smidge over a majority. 51% or more, right? That's how you get reelected. I learned that lesson in November. I got 46% of the vote, roughly. I didn't get elected, okay? All right, now here's the tough question. I'm going to ask you this question, and this is going to decide whether or not you get reelected as mayor of Evansville. If you lose, your grandchildren and their grandchildren and their grandchildren will look back and go, boy, Grandpa Jerry blew it, okay? There's 6 inches of snow on the ground. Whose streets are you going to plow? The ones meaning a greater majority of those? Because you need a greater majority in order to win? If 7 out of 10 people live in the city, are you going to take care of those 7, or are you going to take care of these 2 little ladies right here when these 3 people over here outnumber them?
Take care of the biggest number.
Take care of the biggest number. I gave that example to 2nd graders, and they all got that same answer. I've never not received that answer, Jared. So congratulations, you just got reelected. However, to these poor little ladies right here who are paying to have their streets plowed, they are paying for services they are not going to receive. You can't get more basic of an example of how county government will be getting the short shrift from reunified government.